Welcome to Brick Trains. I'm Joey, and we're going to start on this project. So, one of the projects that I've been talking about doing is replacing the monorail through the Lego City on the train layout with this tram. I initially bought this for the stations, and I was just going to replace the station at the one end with this station here. I wasn't even going to use that station. I was going to use this one here. Because the other end has a station. But now, after getting to looking at it, I want to take this tram, make it 9-volt, have it running back and forth, and place the monorail. I know taking monorails out that's blasphemy, right? You can't. But here's the thing: the monorail stuff is really old. It's battery operated. It's finicky, and it's out of scale to the rest of the city. So the rest of the trains to the modular city, I have a modular city for the most part. Now I hear y'all are saying, "Hey, you build a mock that works on the track." I have that. I have a couple trolleys that I think look pretty good. I mean, they're not great, but they look pretty good, and they work on the monorail system. So they get that back and forth. You can do that back and forth thing. The problem is, it's still the monorail track. They're still finicky, and it still looks. It's because the wheelbase for the monorail is so small, 4 wide. It just looks wrong. When this came out, I initially thought, "Oh, that's kind of cool," but it's just a push train. What we're going to do in this video is I'm going to build it, but I'm going to build it off camera because I don't want to stand here. Dakota's not here. And I'm going to go take it to a table somewhere, and I'm going to build it up. And then I'll come back, and once we got it built up, and then we're going to start evaluating it for what's it going to take to build the 9-volt module. Is it going to have to be a fourth vehicle in here? Or can I take one of the cars and convert it into 9-volt? I think just initially looking at it, that the wheelbase on these is much wider, or not wider, longer than standard 9-volt. Now you're asking, why 9-volt? Well, here's the deal with the 9-volt. If you go into the model railroad hobby, they have these things called reversing units. Now, a lot of model railroads, HO, O gauge, well, even the G gauge, a lot of serious railroaders are going into DCC. They've been doing DCC forever. Direct control something or whatever. I don't know exactly what it stands for. Not to be confused with DC, which is what old school HO is. Direct current. Turns out Lego 9-volt works the exact same way. Direct current going to the track, and depending on the polarity, it determines which way the train's going. Basically, if you have like positive power on the inside rail, it goes one way. If you switch that and put the positive on the outside, then it goes the other direction. And your transformer, your speed controller, your Lego speed controller did that. You turned it one way and it put the power one way, and you turned it the other way and it put the power. Okay. They make these things, which are called reversing units. They're actually got several names. They're kind of hard to find because it seemed like each manufacturer made a different one. I don't know that a lot of manufacturers make these now because DCC is kind of taken over, and you can program DCC to do whatever. Basically, DCC is you have constant power to the track, and then each train has a little computer chip in it, and you can control that from a remote and make it do all kinds of. I just want the ability to go back and forth between two stations. Point to point is what model railroaders will call that. I bought one of these from Train World, so we're going to do video on setting that up. We're going to do some videos on tearing down the monorail, which means I can put all the monorail straight track back in the monorail sets. That's another part of this too. It's like, the monorail track is expensive. I have a lot of extra curve. What is it with curve? There's always more curve. And I have oddball switch pieces. We're going to build this. I'll come back and we'll talk about what it looks like. What the plan going forward is to build or to mock in the 9-volt into this. So we'll see you like that. I hate doing the snap. That was it. I'm never going to do it again. Okay, so we got it all built. Well, yeah, there's a few things that I think are I'm going to have to change. Well, let's look at it here real quick. So right here, they have this piece in here is the connector between the train cars. And it makes it really wide between the cars. I think maybe for this clearance on the curves, but the train also, you hear it? It's rubbing. It doesn't like the curve, but that's okay. We're going to use it on straight point to point. We're not going to go through any curves. We'll be okay with that. This is the train station that I was going to put at the one end of the point, and then we have the other city train station at the other end of the point, or the point to point, the two spots that the train's going to stop in. This is the other, like a little, it's just a small train station, a whistle stop, I guess, really. All of them have these places that extend out, and then that's for the doors, for the handicap doors, which is really cool. So if we put, let's see if I can get this lined up. Let's see, we're going to come to this side. See how the train can line up, and then it retracts back here when the train's going by. So that's a pretty cool little feature. I think, let's see, we got the one minifigure in here. She's driving. I think there's two more minifigures somewhere. Oh, there's the one in, she's inside. She's in the wheelchair. Yeah, and then there's I think there's a barista or something and a little kid or something like that. Okay, so here are the things that we're going to change. These couplers. So this is a 4-length, and they use a pin. It's a non-friction pin, and then just an axle with the stopper on it. So there's two of those. We're going to replace those with this. It's a 2-length Technic lift arm with non-friction pins. So it's just a pin with which, you know, they'll turn in there. So there won't be any resistance. Again, we're not going to be using any curb track, so it'll all be fine. This is the other thing. I wanted to do the 9-volt. So as I was building it, I tried to decide how I was going to modify the one car to take a 9-volt motor. The wheelbase on these is much wider than a 9-volt motor, any regular Lego motor for that matter. Powered up, power function, 9-volt, they're all the same. So what I did is came up with a whole new build. So let's take a look at this. It's just it's not really it's just me putting it together. At the very first part of it will be, well, you know what? I probably talked over the top of it, but it'll explain the start of the build for the 9-volt coach. I'm building a coach, so there'll be 4 in this train instead of just 3 cars. So here we have your parts list, and you're going to need 2 of everything you see here, including those side rails, which have orange 1x2 trans orange plates. Okay, so I've taken a 2x6 plate, and we put those 1x2 Technic pieces on there, and that is a 2x3 brick, and then a 2x2 brick. You need 2 of those. There we go. Put the other one on. Now we're going to just put in some 1x1 plates at the bottom, just kind of help fill in the look, if you will. Yeah. I'm just kind of giving a look over. Now, okay, so I'm putting on 2x2 plates and the 2x3 piece with the hole in it. Okay, see the orientation. Make sure you know how that orientation is. And now we're putting a 1x6 across the bottom of it there. This brings in the 1x5s. I need 2 of these. This is what's going to clip into the motor on top, and then 2x3s, and that fills in the height, because the next pieces are 2x6 red brick. Now from here, we're just going to put it on to, oh yeah, we're going to show a picture of the side rails with the 1x2 orange, trans orange piece. We've got to put those on. Just did that because the orange, trans orange, they use those as marker lights in the rest of the tram set. and I needed to get the height to match up. So I put that on top of the side rails. These just clip into the little clips on the bottom. The other side there behind my finger is actually broken. The clips are broken, but there's enough connection points that it's not necessary. This one by, I don't remember what that is, but that helps the stability of it a whole lot. So there you go, the completed. It looks like a hopper car or something there. It's a pretty plain Jane, but it works. Okay, so here is the completed trim. No, that's not true. This is where we are with the trim. This is the piece that you just saw built, or saw me assembling. Yeah, I'm still missing 5 windows. I need 5 windows. We need the roof piece. That's a 6 by 16, I think. So I got some brick linking to do. Yeah, don't ask me how people are going to get inside there. We'll figure that out, right? And then this is what the whole trim is going to look like. I think that's going to look pretty good. I think this is going to replace the monorail really well. Or it surprises me how good this train really is. It's no motor, it's push train, and you can't get it around. Well, you can get it around curb track, but it don't like curb track. But for what I'm going to use it for, I think it's pretty great. That's the build, almost, just about complete. We got just a little bit of work left here. We got the parts. I'm gonna have a Bricklink order. We'll get the roof piece and whatever else I need. 5 windows, and nobody's gonna have the pieces I need together. You watch and see. The next video is going to be ripping the monorail out. That's going to be the next part of this scenario, series. And from there, we will... sorry, I have a little bit of a cold. Well, it's southern Indiana, and it's fall. It falls in full bloom. And what comes along with fall is it's not pollen and stuff. There are things happen in the winter and the fall. They're harvesting corn, beans. Every day I get up, my truck is covered. The Expedition, the Explorer, everything is covered in corn debris. And we don't live next to the fields. It just floats over. Anyway, you didn't come here to talk about corn. So yeah, next video series will be the monorail removal, and then we're going to probably after that will be the video on the reversing unit. And then hopefully once we get the reversing unit figured out, then we can install this tram into the Lego City. That's it for now. Hey, thanks for watching this video. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Give this video a like, it helps my analytics. Leave a comment, and if you really want to, join our memberships. We call it the passenger list. Every other Friday, we do the A Fool podcast. A couple great guys like Earl and Javo, Mardi Gras Man, and Brixar. We do a podcast about old Lego. It's a good time. Give it a watch.